welcome to In Depth. If the health and disability legislation promotes active discrimination against New Zealanders, why is the government resisting change? The facts are: from the New Zealand Health Information Service in 2001, 40% of New Zealanders will develop a major health condition before the age of 65. For every mortgagee sale due to death, there are 16 for disability. 83% of long-term disabilities are due to sickness, and 40% of disabilities are due to sickness or disease. Joining us now to discuss this is a spokesperson for Equity for Illness, Melanie Trevethick. Welcome to the show, Melanie.
Thank you, Julie.
Okay. You have multiple sclerosis, and it's changed your life dramatically. Can you explain to us how long you've had the disease and what it's meant in terms of lifestyle?
Yes, I was diagnosed in 1996, and at that point we could trace the symptoms back a previous 9 years. So I guess I've had it about 22 years. It's made a huge difference to me. I used to work full-time as I was a secondary school music teacher. Unfortunately, that became just too difficult and too tiring. MS sort of is a disease that it not only has affected my mobility, it impacts on a lot of areas in your life. Pain can be a major issue, so and sadly I wasn't able to continue full time.
What kind of support are you offered due to your health condition?
I'm on what's called an invalid's benefit, but that of course is a reduction down from what I previously earned, down to $230 per week, which is a bit of a difference. Of course, if we were to just compare salaries under ACC, which I know we're jumping the gun slightly, 80% of your previous salary is paid if you have an accident, and that will be until you recuperate or if necessary for life. Under Ministry of Health, you're on a dependency model of a benefit.
So this is the part of the issue that you're faced with, is that because you got your sickness as a sickness, not through an accident, your support is so much less. Can you explain some of the other things that you're not eligible for because you have a sickness rather than an accident-caused disability?
Yeah, sure. Well, the first thing is asset testing. Under ACC, there is no such thing as asset testing. You can be a multi-millionaire and the full range of entitlements are still open to you. Under Ministry of Health, anything over in the housing modification line over $7,500 is asset tested. That rules a lot of people out, because if you can imagine a husband and wife, say the husband gets sick, the wife is in full-time employment, asset testing rules them out from any help because of the wife's income. Under ACC, they will build you a purpose-built home if necessary. Under Ministry of Health, as I said, asset testing clobbers you. I first became aware of the disparity when I tried to get funding for a van I could drive from my wheelchair. I discovered, to my utter amazement, that the fabulous vans that Vehicle Adaptation Services in Matangi modify were fully provided for by ACC. At the point when I got my van, $92,000 was the cost, written for you from ACC. Under Ministry of Health, at that point, $12,900 was the maximum, but only if you're in full-time work, education or vocational work.
Which makes it very difficult, of course, because a lot of people's illnesses mean that they can't work anyway.
Absolutely.
And much more difficult to get a job, I imagine. How did that make you feel?
I was utterly astounded that the government would have created such an uneven playing field. When ACC was created in 1974, they basically took the health sector, divided it into two parts, and then funded one amazingly generously by comparison with those of us who've had illnesses. And from that point on, really, people with illnesses have been the second-class citizens of the New Zealand health sector.
Of course, the debate could be that, well, we pay ACC levels, so therefore, we're eligible for ACC, but when it comes to health, we don't pay anything. What's your comment to that?
That's true, but only a fraction of ACC's $5 to $7 billion yearly budget is gained from earner levies and the small amount that ACC compromises in your motor vehicle registration. Government tax-paid dollars makes up a substantial percentage of that 5 to 7 billion, where enable funding and accessibles funding for people with illnesses is only 60 million per year.
There's a big difference between that, isn't
You can
there?
see the difference between
Another
the two.
comment or debate would be that it's not the Ministry of Health's mandate to provide that for you, whereas it is ACC's.
That's right. ACC has a generous list of entitlements. Ministry of Health is eligibility criteria, which are written so tightly it excludes more of us than it includes. The New Zealand Disability Strategy has an objective 7.5, which says encourage equity of funding and service provision for people with similar needs regardless of the cause of their impairment. That is exactly what I am asking for, and yet Crown law is contesting it.